Okay, so this screencast is all about making Google Forms that will work for a digital escape room. So the first thing you want to do, give it a title, escape room, and then we'll call this clue sheet. So the questions, you always want to make sure they are short answer or paragraph questions. That'll make sense in a minute. So you come up with your questions. So let's say you want to make it simple and just say, who is the first president of the U.S.? As we all know, the first president of the United States, George Washington. Now, to edit this question for an escape room, what you want to do, first you want to slide that over to make it required so kids can't skip it. Next, you want to hit this menu bar and hit response validation. And it's going to bring up this little subscript that says number. You don't want that. You want text. Contains, and the text is supposed to say. So you want it to say George Washington. Then your error text, so this is what will pop up if the kids get it wrong. You can just write, think again. Now, something important to bring up here is that they have to type this in exactly as you write it. So if they don't have a capital G and a capital W, or if they spell it wrong, it won't work. So they have to do it that way. Okay. And then you would just go along like any other Google form. Come up with your questions, set your answers. So we could say, who was the second president of the U.S.? Required, response validation, text, John Adams. Again. If you want to, you can put helpful little hints in here. So instead of think again, you could write J.A. Give them a little hint. And then we'll just do one more to have it nice and fleshed out. And I'm sure you saw this question coming. Who was the third president of the U.S.? Required, response validation, text, Thomas Jefferson. Okay, and now we're done. But there's a few other things that we want to do. So we want to go into settings. And one of the great things you can do here, you can change your restrict settings. One of the things I like to do is I like to change my confirmation message. So when they're done, it says your response has been recorded. Instead, I like to write congrats and then give them a code that opens one of their locks. Your lock code is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this way, when they get all of the questions correct, they get a code response. Right? So then we'll send it. I like to get the link, copy it. Then you can upload it to whatever platform you want. So we'll paste it into our web browser and we'll take a look at how this works. So let's say I have a brain fart and think it's Abraham Lincoln is our first president. It won't let me submit because I haven't required or done the required fields, and I also got an answer wrong. But once I get it right, it will let me through. So that is how you set up response validation on a Google form for an escape room.